The softness rebellion. Why giving up on yourself was never the plan. You know what nobody tells you about survival mode? It's that you can get really, really good at it, so good that you forget there's supposed to be something else, something softer, something that doesn't require you to white knuckle your way through every single day like you're hanging off the edge of a cliff, praying your grip doesn't slip. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Melody Tye, and let me tell you, this conversation didn't just move me, it rearranged something fundamental inside me. Melody Tye is someone who understands what it means to refuse to give up, not just on dreams, but on the people those dreams are meant to serve. They're out here doing the work, creating space, building communities, and reminding us with every breath that our worth isn't negotiable, that we don't need permission to take up space, that we don't need to earn the right to rest. And today I want to share what I learned from Melody Tye because honestly, we all need to hear this. We need it like oxygen. Here's the thing, we've been taught that giving up is the worst thing you can do, the ultimate failure, the unforgivable sin. But what about giving up on yourself? What about that quiet, insidious moment when you stop believing you deserve the thing you've been working toward? When you start thinking, maybe this dream is too big. Maybe I'm too tired. Maybe I should just be grateful for what I have and stop reaching for more. That's the lie we're dismantling today. That's the story we're rewriting. Because every single person, every single one of us is important. And we all deserve every opportunity to express what's bottled up inside us and pursue our dreams. Not someday, not when we're less tired or more prepared, or when the stars align, or when Mercury is no longer in retrograde. Now, today, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the doubt, in the middle of the exhaustion. Let me tell you about Cecilia Courtney Rowe. Cecilia is a Black woman entrepreneur who turned her love for music into the Music Studio Atlanta, a thriving business that now serves over 1,000 students. 1,000. That's 1,000 kids who get to learn, grow, create, and feel seen. 1,000 families who walk through those doors and feel like they belong. But it didn't start that way. It started with Cecilia, a dream, and a whole lot of doubt. She faced what so many of us face, the challenge of building something from the ground up while balancing family, while fighting the stereotype that passion alone is enough. Spoiler alert, it's not. Passion gets you started, passion gets you out of bed on the first day. But resilience, community, self belief, that's what keeps you going when the bank account is empty, when the critics are loud, when you're wondering if you made a terrible mistake. Cecilia built a team, 70 plus music teachers, an extraordinary support staff. She created a space where every student and every family felt seen and supported. And here's what gets me, she didn't do it by being superhuman. She didn't do it by working 20-hour days and sacrificing her health and her sanity. She did it by being human, by asking for help, by building something bigger than herself, by understanding that the cape we've been wearing, the one that says we have to do it all alone, is heavy and it's okay to put it down. That's what Melody Tye reminded me of during our conversation, that we don't have to do this alone, that the Superwoman cape we've been wearing since we were old enough to understand what strength meant, it's heavy, it's suffocating, and it's okay, more than okay, necessary to put it down. Now let's talk about Melody Madar. At 24 years old, Melody co founded Les Eclairos Says, a media outlet dedicated to highlighting women of all backgrounds, including Black women. 24. When I was 24, I was still figuring out how to parallel park and wondering if I'd ever get my life together. Melody navigated the competitive media landscape, a space dominated by majority narratives, a space that wasn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for diverse voices, and said, no, we're going to amplify women who have been overlooked, underestimated, and told their stories don't matter. We're going to celebrate women's achievements, resilience, and stories. And they did. Les Eclairoses grew into a respected media outlet, reaching thousands, providing a stage for Black professionals and entrepreneurs to shine, to be seen, to be heard. Here's what Melody Madar understood that so many of us forget: your story matters. The thing you think is too small, too messy, too ordinary, too unpolished, someone out there needs to hear it. Someone is sitting in their living room right now, scrolling through their phone, wondering if they're the only one who feels this way. And your story might be the key that unlocks their courage. Your story might be the permission slip they've been waiting for. Melody Tye echoed this during our interview. They talked about the importance of never giving up on yourself, no matter how difficult things seem. And I felt that. I felt it in my bones. Because how many of us are one bad day away from throwing in the towel? How many of us have convinced ourselves that our dreams are selfish, that we should focus on being practical, that we should just survive instead of thrive? How many of us have been told directly or indirectly that wanting more is greedy, that rest is laziness, that softness is weakness? But here's the truth: resilience and self worth are not luxuries, they are essentials, especially for Black professionals and entrepreneurs, especially for women who have been carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders since before they even understood what that weight was. Your journey may have setbacks. You may stumble, you may fall flat on your face in front of everyone, but your value does not diminish because of it. You are still worthy, you are still important, and you are still allowed to keep striving and believing in yourself. Let me introduce you to Melody Lee, Chief Marketing Officer of Mercedes Benz USA. Melody Lee is out here championing inclusivity and opportunity in motorsport through programs like F1 Academy. Motorsport, an industry not exactly known for rolling out the welcome mat for women or underrepresented groups. An industry that for decades has been a boys' club with a very exclusive guest list. But Melody Lee didn't let that stop them. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for the industry to change on its own. They invested in initiatives to build a pipeline for female drivers. They created community programs to bring the excitement of motorsport to broader audiences. They connected a legacy brand to new, diverse fans who had never seen themselves reflected in that world. And the result? Increased visibility and opportunity for women in motorsport, inspiration for Gen Z and diverse fans, cultural change, real, tangible, lasting cultural change. Melody Lee showed us that no one is excluded from pursuing their dreams, that new chances are always possible, that when you create space for others, you're not just changing their lives, you're changing the entire landscape. You're rewriting the rules. You're building a new world. And that's what Melody Tye is doing too. Creating space, building bridges, refusing to let anyone believe they're not enough, refusing to let anyone give up on themselves. So here's where we get real. Support systems and inclusive communities fuel success. You cannot do this alone. I don't care how strong you are, how resilient, how determined, how many vision boards you have on your wall. You need people. You need environments and networks that affirm your worth and encourage you to keep going. You need people who will look you in the eye and say, "You're not crazy, your dream is valid, and I believe in you." Cecilia Courtney Rowe built a team. Melody Madar created a platform. Melody Lee launched programs. None of them did it solo. And neither should you, and neither should I. Your soft girl era isn't about doing less, it's about doing differently. It's about releasing the cape, redefining strength, and embracing the truth that softness is not weakness. It's a radical act of self love. It's the permission you've been waiting for to rest, to reset, to choose yourself without guilt, without apology, end without explanation. It's the deep exhale from the Superwoman script. It's the quiet but powerful return to softness, rest, self trust, and radical joy. Melody Tye reminded me that healing isn't just possible, it's a priority, that we've survived deep wounds, abuse, grief, betrayal, chronic overextension, and we're still here, still standing, still dreaming. And that matters. That matters more than we give ourselves credit for. But survival mode isn't the goal. Thriving is. Joy is. Peace is. Softness is. So let me ask you, what's one role, mask, or responsibility you're no longer willing to carry? What does your soft girl era look and feel like right now? What past wound are you still tending to? And what's helping? How are you actively creating space for joy, rest, and boundaries? These aren't rhetorical questions. These are invitations. Invitations to reclaim your identity, not the version shaped by family expectations, church roles, or boardroom rules, but the real you that's been waiting to bloom, the you that's been buried under layers of obligation and performance and perfectionism. Here's your actionable takeaway, and I need you to really hear this. Challenge yourself to take one step toward expressing what's bottled up inside you, whether it's sharing your story, pursuing a new goal, or seeking out supportive communities. Refuse to give up on your dreams, no matter the obstacles. Refuse to give up on yourself. One step, that's it. Not 10, not 100, one. Because here's what I know to be true: you are important. Your dreams are valid, your journey matters. And there is always, always a reason to keep going. Melody Tye is out here proving that every single day. Cecilia Courtney Rowe proved it when she built the Music Studio Atlanta from the ground up. One student, one teacher, one dream at a time. Melody Madar proved it when they co founded Les Eclairoses and gave women a platform to be seen and heard. Melody Lee proved it when they championed inclusivity in motorsport and opened doors that had been locked for generations. And now it's your turn. Your soft girl era is waiting. It's the sacred pause you've been craving, the deep exhale from the Superwoman script, the quiet but powerful return to softness, rest, self trust, and radical joy. It's not a trend, it's not a phase. It's a lifestyle rebellion. It's a spiritual, emotional, and mental recalibration. It's the permission you've been waiting for. It's your birthright. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a 5 year plan or a detailed roadmap. You just have to refuse to give up on yourself. You just have to take that one step. You just have to believe that you are worthy of softness, of rest, of joy, of peace. Because the world needs what's inside you. The thing you've been too scared to share, too tired to pursue, too convinced isn't good enough. The world needs it. And more importantly, you deserve to express it. You deserve to live it. You deserve to be it. So here's my challenge to you: take that one step, reach out to someone who inspires you, start that project you've been putting off for months, maybe years, set that boundary you've been too afraid to set. Rest without explanation. Say no without guilt. Choose yourself without apology. Release the cape. Redefine strength. Embrace softness. And remember, softness is not weakness, it's a radical act of self love. It's the permission you've been waiting for. It's your birthright. It's the revolution we've been waiting for. It's the world we're building, one boundary, one breath, one brave choice at a time. Melody Tye reminded me of that. And I'm reminding you, you are worthy, you are important, and you are absolutely allowed to keep going, keep dreaming, and keep choosing yourself. Not someday, not when things get easier, not when you've earned it. Now, today, right this second. So go ahead, step into your soft girl era, step into your power, step into your softness, step into the life you've been dreaming of. but we're too afraid to reach for. The world is waiting. Your dreams are waiting. And most importantly, you are waiting. Stop making yourself wait. Stop making yourself earn what's already yours. Stop giving up on the person who deserves your belief the most, yourself. This is your moment. This is your permission. This is your invitation. Take it, own it, live it, and watch what happens when you finally choose yourself. Welcome to your soft girl era. Let's make it unforgettable.